Today on Newsbeat, Baton Rouge runners honor Boston Marathon victims.
Also, a world-famous celebrity visits LSU campus. Tiger TV has the exclusive interview.
And take a look behind the costume at Mike the Tiger's tryouts.
All this and more, Newsbeat starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Newsbeat. I'm Stephanie Caprera.
And I'm Jake Robles. Thanks for joining us.
Giuilana Rancic spoke at LSU on Sunday for Delta Gamma Sorority's biannual lectureship event. Tiger TV reporter Lauren Partain has more on her inspirational speech.
I love Giuilana Rancic. I watch her every night on E-News.
Hundreds of people stood in line at LSU's Pete Maravich Center to see Giuilana Rancic speak at Delta Gamma's Lectureship in Values and Ethics event.
She's an inspiration to women and her story of breast cancer and how strong she was to get through it.
The goal of the evening, Rancic says, was to share her story and provide examples of how to overcome real-life struggles.
So I want to make sure I stress that tonight, how to turn negatives into positives. And you know, we all go through so much in life. And so how can you take that experience and do something positive with it?
Delta Gamma's president, Allison Gendron, says why it is important Rancic shares her message.
She made her success herself. It's an amazing journey to watch and hear about. So I think that it can reach out to so many different LSU students and everyone else who is coming to lectureship.
All these people have been waiting for over an hour to see Giuilana Rancic and hear her message. But what they don't know is how Delta Gamma prepared for this event and how long it took to organize.
The Delta Gamma sorority began working on details for this event over a year ago.
We need to double check about that.
Director of Lectureship Morgan O'Lynn says why Delta Gamma chose Rancic to speak at this year's lectureship.
We wanted someone who has an issue that a lot of people deal with. So I know a lot of moms that we are in our chapter have dealt with breast cancer, and a lot of people deal with fertility issues as well. So it's a good chance for us to hear what she has to say and know that there's hope.
Throughout her speech, Rancic stresses how important it is not to give up on your dreams.
They always say, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. But I think you have to take that one step further. It's do what you love and what you're good at and what you're passionate about, and you'll never work a day in your life.
At the end of her speech, Rancic said, people should not change for others. For Tiger TV, I'm Lauren Partain.
FabUwish program grants women who have had breast cancer and ovarian cancer beauty and style themed wishes.
Capital Area Transit System CEO Brian Marshall resigned Monday. The Advocate reports Marshall spoke about the success of the CAT system with linking LSU campus to downtown, especially on game days. Marshall says improvements for the system will continue as planned, adding he will remain available to advise future management.
Baton Rouge runners showed their support for Boston Marathon bombing victims this past weekend. Tiger TV reporter Austin Hart shows us how running goes farther than the finish line.
Varsity Sports owner Jenny Peters said she prayed for the safety of Baton Rouge runners at the bombing.
The safety of the runners from Baton Rouge was first and foremost, just because we had 18 people representing varsity sports on teams up there. So, you know, you're worried for everybody, but particularly those people you know.
Thankfully, most local runners had finished the race before the attacks.
Well, a lot of our runners ran well, which means they were finished, and even some of them back in the hotel room at the 4-hour mark. But we had a couple people that were up there a little bit more casually, and some of them were, you know, one of them was within 15 feet, and obviously it was really scary to them.
5 local running clubs joined forces to honor the citizens of Boston, including the 3 dead and nearly 180 injured by the blasts. A 2.62-mile run and walk took place Saturday at the state capitol, with hundreds showing up to support. Iberia Bank collected donations, but Peters says for her the event wasn't about collecting money.
We didn't want to make it a money thing, more of a support, but Iberia was there just in case.
Supporters donated over $600 for the One Boston Fund to be distributed amongst the survivors for medical needs.
As the runners crossed the finish line, you could tell they all shared one thing: hope and compassion for the city of Boston.
This successful event shows that the tragic events in Boston failed to dampen the camaraderie and spirits of runners nationwide. For WLSU, I'm Austin Hart.
The event occurred right before the Baton Rouge Color Run.
Students who have always dreamt of walking in Mike the Tiger's famous paws finally got their chance last weekend. Team Mike tryouts began Friday and continued throughout the whole weekend. Due to Team Mike rules, we were not allowed to show the faces of the participants. The 3-day audition process included 8 participants learning how to embody the mascot that LSU fans know and love. Team Mike consists of 4 LSU students who are kept anonymous during their 1 year on the team. Current Team Mike captain James Louder explains why the identity of the Team Mike must remain a secret.
The reason why it's so anonymous is because there isn't 4 people to Mike. Mike is one person. We, as a whole, embody who Mike is. Outside the suit, we're just his friends.
Tryouts and eliminations for Team Mike were held last Sunday. However, they will not publicly announce who will be behind the mask. Well, it was really hot, very nice today, but those caterpillars, I swear I need an umbrella for them.
Oh my gosh, this sunny weather is sure bringing out all those caterpillars. Stick around because Chief Meteorologist Robert Gautreaux III will be back with your weather. Stay with us.
Good evening, LSU. I'm Chief Meteorologist Robert Gautreaux III, and Jake was right. I'm no entomologist, but we've been seeing a lot of these caterpillars coming out, and that's because it's spring. It's getting warmer, and we're starting to see that spring weather take fold. Let's take a look at the the Louisiana satellite and radar. You can see that here's the front right here. It's well defined here in the visible satellite. That's what's going to be coming towards us later tonight and into tomorrow. This front will likely stall into Louisiana, and when it stalls, that'll bring us the rain and showers, and it'll be fairly rainy over the next day or two. Let's take a look at tonight's weather. Tonight, as the front approaches, we do have a chance of rain tonight with a low of 65. Rainy into Wednesday. The front will probably cross LSU around 12 in the afternoon tomorrow, give or take a few hours. Wind south at 5 to 10 miles an hour for tonight. Tomorrow, once that front passes, we'll see a high of 79 degrees. Showers on the south-southwest wind of 5 miles per hour. Once the front passes, those winds will shift and come from the north, getting a little bit cooler air towards our area. The 5-day forecast shows rain for tomorrow and into tomorrow night. Thursday, we should be able to ease up a little bit on the rain. There's still a chance for rain Thursday and Friday, but it'll be fairly spotty. The weekend will look all right under partly cloudy skies. Our high temperature is fairly stable in the upper 70s, up to 80 degrees by Sunday. Our lows will be in the 50s until this weekend, and then until we get into the lower 60s. So it'll be a little more humid as that high pressure that's been sitting over us moves off east and we get a little bit more moisture into the area. That front will hopefully dry us out a little bit. For the most up-to-date weather, find me on KLSU, Facebook or Twitter at robertthe3rd.com. Back to y'all.
Coming up in MedWatch, new laws on cigarettes may be beneficial for young people's health.
And a disturbing new game involving cinnamon that can lead to deadly effects. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Newsbeat. I'm Sarah Gastineau with your weekly shot of MedWatch. For more than 30 years, our country has been aware of the harmful effects of cigarettes. There have been laws set and different actions taken to reduce the use of cigarettes, but none as drastic as the most recent proposal. New York City's health commissioner and its city council speaker announced a proposal on Monday to raise the age to legally buy cigarettes from 18 to 21. The proposal requires approval by the City Council and the signature of Mayor Bloomberg, who already supports it. Officials say that raising the age limit could cut smoking among 18 to 20-year-olds by more than half. If approved, this would make New York City the first major U.S. city to raise the age limit for cigarette sales. And who knows what states may follow. Speaking of lung-harming material, you'll be surprised to hear what viral YouTube hit could be triggering lasting lung damage. Any guesses? Well, according to researchers, it turns out that the cinnamon challenge is not all fun and games. In 2012, over 50,000 video clips of this so-called challenge went viral, and in the first 3 months, the American Association of Poison Control Centers received 139 calls for cinnamon abuse, 122 of which were related to the cinnamon challenge. 30 of those people are required immediate medical attention. Some teens were even treated for collapsed lungs and required ventilators after their cinnamon attempt. Cinnamon can be dangerous due to the fact that it contains cellulose that can stick to the lungs and compromise their ability to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. The cellulose doesn't break down, and due to the coating of the lungs, can lead to chronic inflammation and eventually scarring of the lungs. So next time you plan on filming the next YouTube hit, maybe go with something a little less harmful, like puppies. You can't go wrong there. Thank you for watching this week's shot of MedWatch, and don't forget to check in next.
know, I agree with Sarah. I'd rather watch puppy videos than do the cinnamon challenge.
Oh, any day. I could not do that for the life of me.
Well, that's all the time I have for Newsbeat today.
Be sure to connect with us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Twitter for our latest updates. Thanks for joining us and have a great rest of the week.